These are my purchases from today in Lidl. So I have the turkey breast joint, as you can see, were $7.89, and this is a small bacon joint and it was €3. What I want to show today is two different ways to cook these bacon breasts. I think they're good for a few reasons. They're great if you've got if you're catering for smaller numbers. Also, if indeed like this house where people really don't like the brown meat, it's a better option because obviously it's all white meat. So I'll show you now how I prepare these. The bacon joint weighs 500 grams. I've put it into a saucepan of cold water. I'll let it come up to the boil and I'll simmer it for 45 minutes before finish cooking it in the oven. I've started to butterfly one of the turkey breasts. I've done that by splitting it down the middle, starting at the widest point and just slicing across but not cutting right through. I put some cling film on the counter before I started, and now I'm going to put some cling film on top of it. I'm going to start to make the stuffing now for the turkey. So I have 10 ounces of butter in the saucepan just melting. I've added a finely chopped onion, a large one or else two small ones, to the butter with a heaped dessert spoon of mixed spices. Turn the heat down low, well, to medium, and let your onions soften, but you don't want them to go brown. When the onions are softened, you want to add your 500 grams of breadcrumbs and mix it well. Add salt and pepper to season and just leave to the side now until you get your turkey prepared. Here I have my split turkey breast between two sheets of cling film. Now I'm just going to hit it with a rolling pin. To spread it out slightly. Go in the two directions. Just to get it a bit more level. I have laid out my tin foil. Ideally, if you can get wide tin foil, I couldn't get any, so what I've done is I've done two rows of the narrower stuff, but you need to give it a very good overlap. On top of that then, I'm going to put my bacon parchment. I have spread softened butter with a spatula over the entire size of my parchment paper, and I'm now going to sprinkle that with brown sugar. So that's the parchment paper now spread out with the softened butter and sprinkled with the sugar on top. And I'm going to lay out my bacon now in the middle of it. I have my bacon laid out. As you can see, I've used a mix of both back bacon and streaky bacon. I have overlapped it so I have as little gaps as possible. So I have done a row of back bacon and then a row of streaky bacon. You can also do it all in streaky bacon or all in back bacon, or indeed you don't even have to do it at all. And if you weren't doing it at all, I would just put butter on the parchment paper, but I'll show you that in the next piece of the video. So now on top of that now I'm going to set my butterfly turkey breast. So I have my turkey breast now sitting on top of the bacon. Now I have a slight split here, so I have made sure to push it well over, but when I roll it, and it cooks, it'll knit together. So now on top of that I'm going to put my stuffing. Now I have the stuffing spread out on top. Now I didn't use all the stuffing, I probably only used a third of it You just want it level on top of the turkey breast. So I have just rolled the turkey now in the middle of the bacon, and now I'm going to roll the bacon on top. So here I am, all wrapped up now, ready for the oven. I'm putting it into a preheated oven at 180, but I'm going to drop it down to 160, and I'll cook it for, I have 2 kilos here, so I'll cook it for 80 minutes. So here I have the tin foil and the bacon parchment again. I spread softened butter on top of the bacon parchment, and I've seasoned it liberally with salt, pepper, and I have used tarragon, but you know, you can use whatever herbs that you prefer. And I'm now going to wrap up the turkey breast. Now I haven't split this one at all or stuffed it. I'm just going to keep it as is. I've made a parcel of it first with the bacon parchment just by folding it over and folding it over again. And now I'll seal that in to the tin foil and I'll put it in the oven. Now this will take less time to cook than the other one because there's no bacon and it's not stuffed. So again, it's 900 grams. So I'd say this will cook in under an hour. And I don't want it to dry out, so I will be checking up on it after 50 minutes. All ready for the oven. Again, preheated oven, 180. And when I put it in, I'll drop it down to 160. I'll check it at 50 minutes and I'll probe it. So this is a bit of ham now out of the pan. I have in this bowl a good tablespoon of honey, a spoon of Dijon mustard and half a teaspoon of ground cloves. I'm going to mix that together. I'm going to brush my bacon and put it into the oven now to finish off. So I'm going to pop this into the oven now at 180 degrees for just 10 or 15 minutes till the outside of it gets nice and crispy. So I have the probe in. As you can see, it's 86.4, 86.3. So it's cooked in the middle. I don't want to overcook it because it'll only dry out, especially when it's the breast. But of course, having the bacon round the edge of it helps to keep it moist, as does the butter basting. If I was using this, cooking it and using it on the day, I would take it out and let it stand for 30 to 40 minutes before I would even unroll it or even consider slicing it. Ideally, you could make it the evening before and it would slice much nicer than the next day. This is the one that isn't wrapped. It went in later to the oven. It's at 87 degrees. Again, I'm going to finish it off at that so as it doesn't dry out on me. Same rules apply. If I'm going to use it on the day, I'll let it stand for 30 to 40 minutes before slicing it, or else I would make it the evening before and slice it on the day that I'm going to use it.